Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through the St Kilda versus Brisbane upset win for St Kilda. They led it by the outset. I believe they were up 15 to zip at quarter time, and I thought they're going to come back. Brisbane are going to come back. They just had a slow quarter, but Brisbane never got back into this game. Never got within about 5-6 points since that 15-point lead at quarter time. They brought it back to 1 goal. They brought it back to 6 points. It looks like is the smallest margin that it had in St Kilda's favour after the smallest margin after they'd actually kicked a point or kick started on the scoreboard. And yeah, they ended up just smoking them 4-4 in the last quarter. It was a pretty even quarter, but yeah, just damage done in the first 3 quarters where they got out to a 3-3 lead, which is 21 points, and it ended up being that margin at at the 3-quarter time and then at full time as well. But before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, 55-34, Lambert 91. Top scorer, really weird scoring output for the game. As you can see, 908 to 897. That might be one of the lowest, if not the lowest of the year. Only 48 marks taken, so a very low marking game, so not much space it seems like. And only 63 to 75, which is a weird thing and then also the disposals was down as well. So I don't know whether there was something to do with an injury or something that ran the clock down or something like that, or just the way something happened that the clock just kept on running and they weren't able to spend as much time. It seems like there was a lot of it would go over the boundary and there'd be boundary throw-ins by the look of this, because that's the only conclusion I can come to, being 45 to 32 hit-outs wise, but not many tackles comparatively to other games, as well as not many marks. So yeah, just a weird game. Maybe the scores burn time as well or something like that. It was a relatively higher scoring game for the women's, it seems like. But anyway, let's get into the, players recap. I don't think I watched much of this game. But anyway, Lambert 91, 18, 3 and 8, a pretty fair output for a game from her. I don't know exactly how much mid-time she's getting. If I look over here, and you can see here, she's getting 77. So she's getting a fair chunk of time in the midfield. Not completely 100% as it seems here. As you can see, she sort of seems to be missing 1 or 2 CBAs across her time on ground. But that could actually just be, in the last, say, 3 weeks, she's missing, it seems like, 1 CBA. But that could just be the fact that she's just off at a time that a CBA occurs or whatever. There's more CBAs when she's off than when she's actually on the field. That could be the case, is what's happened here. So she could have actually attended every single CBA that she was on the field for. And then you've got, that's happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks, it seems like, and it's since round 5, or since round 6, sorry. But in round 5, it obviously wasn't the case. Round 4, not the case. Round 3 could have, with 11% gap, but I don't think so. Round 2 and round 1, not the round 1 actually was the case that she did attend every CBA, it does look like, when she was on the ground. But not that, we need that one back. Smith was probably the biggest miss for me this year, as simple as that. I don't think I did as much due diligence having a YouTube channel, and in terms of going back and looking at or looking into a lot of these teams and their players, and I think that's something that will certainly happen this year in the off-season, is certainly going back and looking at all of the players that are potential, looking at all the draftees and their output, etc., and just taking more of a notice of the women's game, especially being a content creator, in terms of just giving you guys the best options, because I think I started off all right, but there was certainly in the upgrade season, I just got it wrong. In missing out or not knowing the powerful nature of the sort of rookies and how they can flip it on its head with Smith, Nanscorn, who else did really well. Roberts has done really well. I don't know what she was necessarily priced at, but she's had a ridiculous season. She's gone up 152k, so not even that much. Goldsworthy's had a ridiculous year, going up 764k. Frederick as well has had a pretty good year. Strom's actually gone down on the season. Hurley's had a ridiculous year as well, going up. Pressbargis has gone down a lot. Marinoff has stayed around her price. Garner and Riddell have actually, I think, dropped. No, Riddell has gone up and Gardner's gone up a little bit. But even you look at Tani Evans, she's gone down on the year. Charlotte Thomas has gone up on the year. Stannett definitely has gone up on the year. Smith a little bit up on the year, but you see like a lot of these girls have gone up. Ridiculous. If we look at the averages for all, and you see here, not many of the top ends, but you see Whitford's gone up a little bit. Is this which one's the year? Oh, that's the year there. So Bruton's gone up a little bit. Blackburn definitely. Too Good's gone up a ridiculous amount. Garner went up 724, but everyone knew Garner was going to go up as a midfield role was there. But you just see a lot of these girls now. Nan's gone 843k up. She's gone. Kelly 490. So a lot of you don't realize the power of the rookies. Like, what was someone priced? Let me just grab here. Frederick, we knew, no, Malloy, was priced at around 965, or was it 958k? She was priced at 958k. We look at someone like a Nansquan at the moment, 1.1 mil. We look at a Schultz at the moment, 944k. She's 14k off of Malloy, and she started as a basement player. So I think that's one of the biggest things, is just knowing the power of these girls, just to have one good performance and their cash just fly off the chart. So I think going roll over just scoring is so critical with the rookies. Vesely, Kelly, Nolder, Exxon, Richards, Zenios, McDonald, Jacobson, Stevens, Priest as well, just getting out of her and knowing what the actual, looking beyond the team sheets, etc., and having more of a clue of actually what position they're playing is something that I need to work on next year. Because Priest, I should have figured that out around early and gone and gotten rid of her, because that's ultimately the difference, even with everything said and done, between me getting Hurley this week instead of Ham, and then being able to get to the likes of Bowers this week, which would have been a huge upgrade. Even if I had ended up with Hurley and Bowers instead of Hurley and Pressbarkis, it would have been a huge upgrade. Joffley, Boyd, Pynchon, Watson, Burke, Friend, Anderson. Then we move over to Brisbane, and Anderson 91, the top scorer. And yeah, she seems to have dipped a little bit after having, I think, 5 or 6 straight hundreds. If we look over here at Anderson, you'll see 100 average, and I think she started off with a 90? Yeah, no, started off with a 90, then went 1, 2, 3, 4 straight hundreds, another 90, 100, 96, 91. So her lowest score of the year is a 90. But her highest score of the year is a 119, then a 117, and then a 102. So she doesn't have much of a range, high floor, low ceiling type of player, which is sort of a decent player to get in at the back end of a fantasy season, to be honest. Grider 75, Hickey 63, Mullins 63. Mullins is surprising. Good start for her. I believe she might have got a little bit more midfield time, which is a look in next year. If we look at Mullins, average of 43, but you can see she started to get that uptake, so maybe she might get some midfield minutes next year. 43 average, we'll see what happens with that, whether she, I don't know about the contracts in the women's game, etc., what's going on there, but she definitely looks like she could do well in the midfield. O'Dwyer, Davidson, just 2 goals, nothing else aside from that, so still showing that key forwards are not really that good in the fancy game. That's why Too Good is such an anomaly. Ellinger, Smith, Campbell, Dawes, Cohen, Monaghan, Bolts, Porg, Dunn, Hooder, Smith, Hampson. None of these girls. Postlethwaite a little bit low, so I don't know what's going on with Postlethwaite. Here, as you can see, I don't know whether she's just a small forward that's just started out at a rookie price and has played the whole year, etc., and gone up, or what's happening with that. But we'll because I think she actually is just a small forward in the end. I don't know about that. I need to look into that more, and look at her profile, etc., and see that, because it doesn't seem like, especially being 22, I don't know if she'll get a position change, or I know that she'll be a forward, but I don't know whether she'll get a role change over the summer with Brisbane, etc., whether she'll just be that small forward that's not really going to be fancy impactful over the year. Hislop and McKee to round out the scoring for this game, and a really low scoring game. But anyway, that is the video, and I guess that's the last video of today. And tomorrow you'll see Essendon Carlton, West Coast versus Western Bulldogs, and the Richmond Geelong recaps. And yeah, that's the video, and I'll see you guys in those recaps tomorrow. Bye, guys.